The winless Houston Texans hosting the winless Tennessee Titans. Even the most electric carnival barker might not get you to watch this show, but somebody's walking out of NRG Stadium with their first win, and it desperately needs to be the Houston Texans. Only one team has ever come from 0-4 to make the playoffs, and nobody needs to be replicating that 1992 Los Angeles Chargers season. But plenty of teams have found themselves from 1-3 in the playoff hunt later in the season. That's what the Texans are trying to do. To get to 1-3, who better ball? It's a question that I ask each and every week. Who better ball? It's not the stars. Obviously, you know about the Will Andersons, the Danielle Hunters on the Texans defense, CJ Stroud and Nico Collins over on offense. Who are the role players? Who are the guys that are a little under the radar or need to step up to a better level than what they have been to get this done for the Houston Texans? And I'm breaking one of my own rules here with the Who Better Ball beginning. The start, number one on Who Better Ball. How about offensive coordinator Nick Caley? He's got to be much better than he has been in the first 3 games. He's got to get the rhythm going to this offense. I know the players have made mistakes and it's put them behind the sticks and second and long and third and long, and nobody's a good offensive coordinator when you've got to deal with all of that. But Nick Caley has to be better. Nick Caley has to be good in this matchup. The Texans need a win desperately, but they could use some style points on offense. It's the worst offense in all of football, the Houston Texans offense. And Nick Caley is at the helm of it. He was the genesis of change this offseason. When Bobby Slowick got the heave-ho, Nick Caley slid in there. It's been disappointing. It hasn't looked anything like that Rams offense that he watched for the past 2 seasons over there in LA. It's resembled one of those paltry, pathetic Patriots offenses. Those Nick Caley will tell you it's not a copy and paste of the Patriots system. Prove it. Prove that it's not a copy and paste of the Patriot system. Trust the young players like Jaden Higgins, who has some of the best separation scores in all of football, according to Pro Football Focus. Like Jalen Noel, who's looked dynamic when the ball has ended up in his hands on special teams. Like Woody Marks, who actually has looked like a pretty productive player that you could use maybe more than you have been using. Trust the young guys, something that Patriots offenses did not do. Use some motion before the snap. That's something the Texans did a little bit last year and had a little bit of success with it. That's something that the Rams do well. Steal that from your time in LA. Nick Caley, how about some play action? Now, you know you need to run the football just a little bit to be able to run the play action. But even then, CJ Stroud is good. Let him fake it to Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, and get out there and get one of those open receivers going. CJ Stroud has got to get more out of his offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator's got to scheme some things up for CJ Stroud, make it easy, because once Stroud can get into a rhythm, you can see a little bit more from this Houston Texans offense. So Nick Caley, use some Ram stuff. Use some stuff that you haven't used, and trust the young guys, because if you ball in this one, the Texans offense will ball. And that would be the first in Who Better Ball. You got to trust the young guys. Just like you should trust TDECU. They are fantastic, and they want to give you 15% off at the Texans online team store when you sign up for that Texans debit card from TDECU. It's your credit union. They work for you, and all of the fantastic perks of being with TDECU, among them is 15% off your new gear. It hasn't been good for your lucky shirt or lucky jersey or lucky hat. Get a new lucky jersey, lucky shirt, or a lucky hat and get it for 15% off with that Texans debit card. TDECU.org/Texans, where you can find out more information. There's a link in the description down below. Membership required, insured by the NCUA. TDECU, your credit union. The perks, man, they are aplenty, just like we hope the offense is aplenty in this matchup against the Tennessee Titans for the Houston Texans. How do you get the offense going. Well, you stop Jeffrey Simmons. How do you stop Jeffrey Simmons? Well, who better ball? I could have put the entire interior offensive line in here, but I'm going to go with whoever the hell the left guard is, because Laken Tomlinson rotated with Juice Scruggs in last week's game. I got to imagine that's going to happen again, but whoever it is, you can't let Jeffrey Simmons wreck this game. Simmons is the best player on the Tennessee Titans. He's one of the best defensive linemen in all of football. He's one of the best players the Houston Texans are going to play all year long, and he is off to a red hot start. It's one of the best starts to a season that Simmons has ever had. His pass rush prowess, it's one of the best in football. According to Pro Football Focus, number 2 in pass rush grades across all defenders in football who play most of the snaps for their teams. If you're Laken Tomlinson and Jeffrey Simmons is beating you, this whole offense is going to have a tough time getting going, making things happen to a large degree, and moving the football consistently. Simmons can wreck your run game. He can definitely wreck your pass game. So whoever the left guard is, and Jake Andrews and Ed Ingram, they got to take care of business, but it'd be nice if the offensive line could just have one left guard. Wouldn't it be great if you could just figure out who is the best between Laken Tomlinson and Juice Scruggs and just play one of those guys and let one of those guys get comfortable and build some rhythm on the offensive line? Wouldn't it be nice to just have one left guard? But if they have to, whoever's in there's got to be ready to block Jeffrey Simmons. Now, Juice Scruggs had some success pass blocking in his opportunities. Perhaps he is the better matchup for Simmons. Maybe Laken Tomlinson is better in the run setup versus Simmons. Whoever the Texans decide to start there at left guard, they got to be ready to slow down Jeffrey Simmons. If he destroys your passing attack, it's going to be a long day on the offensive side of the ball for the Houston Texans if they don't stop Jeffrey Simmons and the left guard. Whoever the left guard is going to get the nod in that. I want you to give the nod to my friends at Sleeper. When you're playing daily fantasy, it's so easy and fun to play daily fantasy with Sleeper. You're just putting predictions together, and if you get all your predictions right, it multiplies your entry fee. Let's put a Sleeper entry together right now. Why don't you? Let's go in there. Let's grab James Cook for more than half of any time touchdown. You got to have somebody from another team. It can't all be on the same team, but let's go through here. Let's just hope this offense, gets finally going. More than 217.5 passing yards. Man, that seems like such a small and paltry number, but CJ Stroud with a big passing day. We need that for our Sleeper entry. Nick Chubb's getting into the end zone. We know they like to run the football. You get close. Chubb powers one in there against that Tennessee Titans defense. And let's go to the sacks. Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, sack masters, sack monsters. 5 wins us over $70. If we get it all correct, it's that easy. When you sign up at a Sleeper, this is the entry we put together. Use that code Stoots, STOOTS, when you sign up. In the link in the description down below, you get a deposit match. $50 get you $50. $100 get you $100. It's up to $100 in that deposit match. Use the code Stoots, STOOTS. Terms and conditions do apply. Check out Sleeper's terms and conditions. Operation over 25 states. Code Stoots, STOOTS. Put that Sleeper entry together with me. Maybe we can all be winners together. The offense hasn't taken care of us through the first few weeks, but Stroud can do his business. Nick Chubb gets into the end zone. James Cook gets into the end zone and a couple of sacks from the big-time defensive ends of the Texans. Well, we could have ourselves, the Houston Texans, having a big day, and us having a big day on Sleeper. Use the code Stoots, STOOTS. 2 more people in Who Better Ball. 2 more players that need to show out. Let's flip over to the defense. How about a Henry To'o bounce back game? How about Henry To'o 2 weeks ago? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't get Baker Mayfield. The slippery Baker Mayfield got out there, ran for a big first down on 4th down, and we all know how that one turned out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What if Henry To'o went through a little bit of a redemption arc in this one? Still had a couple of iffy tackling moments against Jacksonville, but what if he just turned into a tackling machine in this one? Cam Ward is going to have to move around. Cam Ward is going to use his escapability. They're going to need Henry To'o to not have that Baker Mayfield moment. They're going to need him to have a few more redemption moments at the linebacker spot. In addition to that, Tony Pollard is one of the better pieces of that Tennessee Titans offense. You're going to need to go in there, knife in there, slow down Pollard, put this thing into second and long, third and long, make it tough for Cam Ward to operate this thing at the quarterback spot. And if you can do that, you should be in great shape overall as the Houston Texans defense. So, Henry To'oTo'o, how about a redemption opportunity for the linebacker? Go in there, hit some run stuffs, chase down Cam Ward, thump like he thumped to start the season. Remember that big hit he put on Puka Nacua and some of the other big hits he's shown? A little redemption for To'oTo'o in this one. Who better ball? Henry To'oTo'o. Finally, let's wrap it up with the new starter taking over for CJ Gardner-Johnson. How about MJ Stewart? He needs to ball out in this one. MJ Stewart is a guy that has been in this defense for a couple of years. He knows what it's supposed to look like. And if you believe that CJ Gardner-Johnson was in business for himself and wasn't playing the defense the way it was supposed to, having that person play the defense its way it's supposed to be played should make things easier for the other 10 guys on the field, the other 9 guys in front of Stewart and Kalen Bullock at that safety spot. Look, you're a veteran in MJ Stewart. You've played a lot of football from that backup spot. Now you're thrust into the starting role. Make the most of it. Make the most of this opportunity. Sure, maybe eventually Jimmy Ward, Jalen Reed are breathing down your neck trying to take your spot, but it's your spot right now. MJ Stewart, do exactly what DeMeco Ryans wants you to do. Do exactly what DeMeco Ryans needs you to do in that defense, and you could find yourself with a lot of playing time in the next few weeks. And heck, if his whole thing goes like Eric Murray's whole thing, maybe in a couple of years, the Jaguars will give you a whole bunch of money in free agency. But it all starts with doing your job the way it needs to be done, which apparently is not what CJ Gardner-Johnson can do. And that's why CJ Gardner-Johnson is watching football like you and me on this fine Sunday. So who better ball on defense? We already gave you Henry To'oTo'o. Add MJ Stewart to the equation. Who better ball for you in this matchup? Let me know in the comment section down below on your way down there. Throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out my friends at TDECU and Sleeper. Great perks and benefits for you for watching this video when you check out both of my friends, both at TDECU and at Sleeper. And check out my buddy Landry Locker with the Locker Room. He'll have the live post-game show. I'll have post-game coverage for you. Houston football will have the written coverage for you. It's game day. And the Texans are as close as they've ever been to getting their first win. They're also as close as they've ever been to just an absolutely titanic, crappy start to a season. But we don't think about the bad stuff happening. We're just thinking about the good stuff happening. And if Kaylee and the starting left guard and To'oTo'o and MJ Stewart take care of their business along with the big dogs, Texans will be 1-3 and looking to be the 6th team since the playoffs expanded to make the playoffs after a 1-3 start. And if they lose, well, there's always the 1992 Chargers. But I can't imagine there'd be a whole lot of hope hanging around. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.